Today marks the one-year anniversary of Washington State's Death with Dignity Act. It's an assisted suicide program for terminally ill patients, but it doesn't seem to be happening on the east side of the state. One local woman says the lack of doctors willing to administer a lethal prescription has caused a lot of suffering for her family. KXLY4 Sally Showman reports.
Well, my grandfather was admitted in the hospital just a day after the act went into effect.
1 year ago, Leah Bean's grandpa, Stephen Wallace, went into the hospital with low blood sugar. He came out with an end-stage pancreatic cancer diagnosis.
He was a simple, very strong person.
He had total control over his life. He wanted control over his death, too.
He had witnessed his wife, my grandmother, pass away 21 years before with cancer that had infested her body, and he watched it take over her and consume her and the pain that she went through, and he decided he didn't want to die that way.
Wallace wanted access to a lethal prescription made legal by the Death with Dignity Act. He searched the entire east side of the state for a doctor willing to fulfill his dying wish, unsuccessfully. His granddaughter says the cancer ravaged his body. He passed away weighing 60 pounds.
He couldn't get out of bed by himself. He couldn't feed himself. Got to a point where he couldn't even speak.
The first annual Death with Dignity Act report indicates Wallace might not be the only person running into roadblocks trying to utilize the new act on the east side of the state.
Only 3 of the 47 people to utilize the act are from the east side of the mountains. A group called Compassion and Choices of Washington says it's because of the lack of access.
Many docs over there, probably as many as in Seattle, who sympathize with their patients and would like to help them, but just don't want to get involved out of fear of criticism.
Hospitals in Spokane have opted out of participating in Death with Dignity. Bean says she hopes something changes soon so other terminally ill patients have access to the right granted them by the law.
I just hope that nobody else has to go through the pain that our family did in trying to find the help that they are looking for.
Sally Showman, KXLY4 HD News.
Stephen Wallace died last April. He was too sick to travel to Western Washington to get a prescription. We tried contacting Deaconess and Sacred Heart today about their decision not to participate. Sacred Heart declined our interview, and we did not hear back from Deaconess.